Well, hello electronics enthusiasts. Mike here. Welcome back to my channel and welcome to another episode of me visiting electronic surplus stores all across the country. The few that are left, unfortunately, they are a dying breed. And right here we have Skycraft Surplus in Orlando, Florida. Now this is the closest big surplus store to me geographically. I live on the west coast of Florida, but I don't get here as often as I would like to, unfortunately. In fact, it's been quite a while since I was here last. They were still in their old building the last time I was here, that iconic old building with the flying saucer on the roof. Yeah, so I haven't been here since they moved into their new building, and the reason I don't get here so often is because I have to drive on I-4 to get here. And as any Floridian will tell you, driving on I-4 is to be avoided if at all possible. There are even memes on the internet about how bad I-4 is. But I survived the 4 C's of I-4, the congestion, the crashes, the construction, and the crazies, and I made it here. So I'm going to go inside and do a little filming, probably buy a bunch of stuff. And I'll probably be a little furtive about the filming at first until I feel out the staff and see if they're okay with it. Usually places like this are. And if they're okay with it, I'll give you a good, or as good as I can, an overview of what's going on inside. And if you're in the Orlando area, you should probably stop in and check this place out. So let me head to the door and start filming. So I'm just outside the main entrance here, and there's already some interesting stuff. Got parts bins, shelving, workbenches, rolling carts. Decent prices on the rolling carts, too. Look at this workbench. Wouldn't you love to have that in your workshop? Got like some AV carts and just some miscellaneous stuff, more parts bins, and well, most of these places just sell anything they can get their hands on these days just to, keep the doors open and keep the money rolling in. So I got some big cases over here and just, Korean hot sauce. Okay, let's go inside, see what we got. These wonderful ladies have given me the okay to film inside the store, so that's exactly what I'm going to do.
Skycraft.
The beautiful Skycraft. All right, thank you, ladies.
You're welcome.
I better get a basket. I got a feeling I'm going to be leaving with a load.
That's okay. If it's too heavy, just pick up another one and bring one back down.
Okay. Let's see here. We got all kinds of RF connectors. More RF connectors. Get some
It's our day off.
some ovens over here and some camping equipment. Let's see. Oh, it just goes on and on. It goes on and on and on and on. Oh, they've got some of the decorations from the old building in here. All right. So let me look around and see what I can find. I mean, it's going to take a while to sort through all this stuff. And I'm sure as much as you'd like to see all of it, this video doesn't need to be 3 hours long. So I'll show you the highlights of each section. I've got some big heat sinks up here. So let me get to looking through all this little stuff here, because there's a lot of stuff I can use, and it's going to take a lot of hunting. Lots of LEDs, all kinds of LEDs. Square, round,
1140, please.
right angle mount. All kinds of stuff. And over here we got switches, push buttons, from little tiny switches and micro switches up to great big toggle switches and knob throw switches, and you name it. You name it. We got switches. Wow, we got switches. Holy moly. And over here, well, let's see, that looks like D-shell connectors, 25, 15. And then, oh, okay, insulation displacement connectors. I better look through these. There might be a few of those I can use for sure. So let me look through that stuff. Ooh, big old knife switches. Wow. Getting into like Frankenstein lab stuff here. Very cool. Got some interesting old equipment up on the top shelf. Basically, it's decoration, I guess. Vintage oscilloscope, circa 1965. Removable disc pack, 11 platters, 14-inch diameter. 300 megabytes of storage. Oh, those were the days. Can't describe what this place smells like. You know, it's got that smell of old electronics. You know what I'm talking about? Like old phenolic resin, transformer oil, old rubber insulation. It's I love that smell. Anybody else out there love that smell? I know I do. It brings back good memories. Working in my grandfather's electronics lab when I was a kid. That's where I learned my electronics to start with my grandfather. So yeah, leave a comment. Let me know if you love that smell. It's probably carcinogenic, no doubt, but I love it anyway. Yeah, there's some good stuff up here on the top shelves. Yeah, cool stuff. And down here below, we are into variable transformers, it looks like. Rheostats and, I don't know, maybe it's hydraulic stuff down there? Looks like hydraulic stuff. You never know what you'll find in here. And of course, this is a new building, so I don't know where to find anything. I'm going to have to wander up and down every single aisle and refamiliarize myself with it. It's all different. Well, we got lots of fuses and circuit breakers over here. And temperature controls. Ooh, yeah. Controllers. I need to look through those. I can always use another good temperature controller for one of my kilns or for my Capelling oven. I'll look through those. We got some more circuit breakers, big circuit breakers. And what do we got down here? Straps and tie downs and stuff. And yeah, let me look through these controllers up here. So let's see, over here we got some security cameras, and then we get into insulators, all kinds of insulators, from small to huge. Neon sign insulators, insulators for antennas, lots of coax cable down here. It's like one-stop shopping for all your ham radio antenna needs right here, let me tell you. And yeah, variable capacitors, feed-throughs, just all kinds of stuff over here. Remote controls, more coax, more coax, more coax. Very neat, very neat. Look at all these variable capacitors, just bins and bins and bins full of them. Any values you could possibly need. Some used equipment here. It looks like there's some stereo equipment, but there's a lot of power supplies. That is like the biggest decade capacitor box I have ever seen in my life right there. It's huge. Wow. More power supplies. Lots of power supplies. On and on and on. Yeah, more power supplies, transformers, power supplies, and then transformers. Yeah, lots of transformers. My goodness, got like a wall of transformers here. Any value you could possibly need. I better look through this a little bit too. Okay, now I'm into the hardware section. Nuts and bolts and screws. And, well, this goes on and on. My goodness, I mean, even the biggest Ace Hardware in my neighborhood doesn't have a selection like this. This is any kind of hardware you can imagine. Just, wow. Holy cow.
You're welcome.
Washers, standoffs, you name it, it's all here. Any kind of hardware. Around the corner, yet more hardware. Turnbuckles, threaded rod, stainless threaded, nice. I bolts, U bolts, any kind of bolt. Long threaded rod, sheet metal stock. Looks like we've got different shaped metal stock over here, different types. Oh yeah, it's hardware heaven here. Terminal strips from huge to small. Dumpers, Phoenix connectors, just all kinds of stuff over here. Wire and cable, and rope, and ribbon cable. Nice. Nice. Enameled wire, brass wire, steel wire, you name it, it's here. Copper mesh. Oh, that's interesting. Zoomed out, there's just so much wire, wire, wire. It goes on and on. You know, every color, every gauge, tinned, untinned, enameled, solid, stranded, heavy duty cable. It's just, I mean, it goes way back there. This is all wire. This is all wire. Wire and cable. That's all this is. Just crazy. Now we're into the tools section. Lots of tools. Kind of heavy on electronics and crimping stuff and things like that. But a lot of general purpose tools too. Yeah, hammers, things like that. Reasonably priced. Glue, soldering stuff. Yeah, more tools. Screwdrivers, nut drivers. It's all here. It's one-stop shopping, let me tell you. Got light bulbs. All kinds of light bulbs. A billion kinds of light bulbs. Little ones, big ones, LED, incandescent, all kinds of bases. Tiny, tiny ones. Filters. Sockets. I spent hours looking for a particular bulb and socket for a project at work. I probably should have just driven over here, bit the bullet and driven over here, and could have got what I needed, I'm sure. More goes on and on, lots of bulbs. Oh yeah. More sockets. LED panels. I think that's the kind they put on ambulances that are so darn bright at night they leave huge after images in your eyes when you're driving behind an ambulance and they hit their brakes. Anybody else have that problem? Yep. It goes on. Big ring flash units. Big ones. Wow. I need a ring light. Not that big. Holy cow. Yeah. Any kind of lighting you might need. All sorts of raw materials. Plastic of all kinds. Plastic sheet. Teflon. All kinds of little fittings and stuff from plastic and metal. Sheets of plastic. And more cool stuff up top too. Look at that old Westinghouse laboratory, or Weston, not Westinghouse. DC voltmeter. That thing's ancient. Sitting next to a Tesla coil. Wow. Cool stuff. I mean, it's not just for electronics. If you're into leather work or upholstery, you can get stuff you need here too. Yeah, lots more metal over here. There's some shafting I'm interested in. Get me some of that aluminum shafting, I'm thinking, and just tons and tons of metal shapes and brackets and things.
1740, please.
And look at this. A real gas can. The kind we used to get before the government tried to save us from ourselves and forced their useless cans on us. More metal. Rubber.
1051, please.
Molex connectors. All kinds of connectors. Just jars full of connectors. Battery holders. Heat shrink tubing. Hey, I need some heat shrink tubing. Yeah, let me get one of these assortments right here. The multicolored one. That's got the sizes I need in it. Here we go. Panel meters. And counters. Like hour counters and things. Part counters and meters of all kinds. Oh my goodness. Ammeters, milliammeters, voltmeters, AC and DC. Frequency. Oh, you name it. They got it. Wow. These big old things up here. Wow. Very cool. MOVs. High power resistors. Some of these might be shunts. I think some of them are shunts. But yeah, high power resistors. And we're getting into components now. And the components walls just go on and on. Like you would not believe. Resistors, capacitors, diodes, transistors, IC chips. You can't imagine. This is going to take a while. Yeah, this wall over here, you know, except for the cool stuff up top. This is all resistors. We got lots of power resistors over here in these bins. Big power resistors. And then potentiometers, single turn, multi-turn, rheostats, all through here. Ooh, you know what this stuff looks like? This looks like stuff that was salvaged from Radio Shacks when a lot of those stores closed down. Although, you know what? Radio Shacks are coming back. I have a video on that. I've visited a few. I'll put a link in the upper right to that video. But these look like they might have come from Radio Shack stores. So this is all transistors and integrated circuits. And if you don't know what you need by number, you're kind of screwed. Because it's a little bit mixed up. I don't know, maybe they have a list up by the register. Although I did find some Z80 chips over here, PIO, CTCs. Don't need any right now, unfortunately, but I found some. I'll have to ask up front if they have, you know, a sort of master list of what's where in all these bins. That would be nice. Well, I've kind of figured out the numbering system on the bins by myself. Basically, it's a little mixed up, but basically, if the number starts of the chip starts with 82 or 83, it's going to be in these bins. Although it's a little mixed up, it doesn't always work out that way. You know, 84, etc. So there's a lot of Intel 8080 peripheral chips in here and 8085 processors and stuff. So let me see if I can find some other stuff, assuming that this numbering system is the way I think it is. Okay, I found Motorola 6800 chips a few bins over from where they ought to be, but you know, it's just in this general area, so I think I'm figuring it out. Let me look through here and see if there's any 6800 chips or peripheral chips I need. I already have a fair selection that I bought at Surplus City in Albuquerque. I can put a link to that video in the upper right when I was at Surplus City and bought a bunch of 6800 chips there. But yeah, let me look through these bins here and see what they've got. More resistors. In fact, they've got actual precision resistance standards up here too. Wow. Very cool. And oh, $75. Not as expensive as I would have thought. Voltage regulators, but this is metal resistors, power resistors, all kinds of resistors. Kinds of resistors you don't see every day anymore. Some SCRs mixed in too. Over here, we've got all kinds of nylon hardware, nuts, bolts, washers, whatnot, feed-throughs, all kinds of nylon stuff. And rubber and phenolic. Yep. And ferret cores. Lots of ferret cores. And chokes. You would expect to find those next to the ferret cores. Yep. Mechanical stuff, gears, pulleys, cog wheels, belts, bearings of all kinds. Gas shocks. Just all kinds of stuff. Oh, here we go. Some motors. Small to big. Big down on the bottom, small up top here. DC, AC, gearhead, stepper, all kinds of motors. And we have reached the wall of capacitors over here. Just, it goes on and on and on forever. All capacitors. Wow. Our hardware. Got standoffs, all kinds and heights of standoffs over here. Also, thermal fuses. Yeah, okay. More fiber insulation stuff. Springs. Springs, always useful. I'll look through the springs. Grommets, banana plugs. Again, always useful. Strain reliefs, feed-throughs. Getting over here into wall wart power supplies, all kinds of different voltages and currents. Ooh, that's some bright LEDs right there. AC motors, pumps. Oh yeah, pumps and blowers, and more wall warts down here. Yeah, that's a heck of an aquarium aerator right there. Motors. Oh, what do we got? No, more pumps. All kinds of pumps. And solenoids, rotary solenoids. Extension cords. Very cool. Very cool. I gotta look through the pumps too, as well as go back and look through the springs. Relays. Lots of relays. And sockets. Over here we got more motors. All kinds of motors. Wow. And gearboxes by the looks of it. Yeah, there's some gearboxes down there. Looks like a sump pump there. Nobody has basements in Florida. Might come in handy for something though. And we got motor starter capacitors over here. And more motors. Weird motors. And then cables, power cords. Huh. And what do we got here? Current control relays, contactors, big contactors. Holy cow, that's a gigantic contactor. Yeah. Yeah, the PLCs down there. And then all kinds of fluid and air fittings. And valves. And then punch down blocks. And just all kinds of stuff. Brackets, threaded studs, straps, sleeves, all kinds of stuff. Braces, you name it. Wiring chase. It's all here. Lots of audio stuff, cables, connectors, patch cables, microphone stuff. Going down here, some nice solder fume extractors. More soldering equipment. Oh, I love these self-healing cutting pads. I've got one. They come in very handy. More audio cables. HDMI, video stuff. Monitor cables. Audio video stuff. VGA, SVGA, VNC. Any kind of video cable you might possibly need. And of course, they've got all the more modern Arduino stuff over here and some more modern test equipment. Power inverters, battery chargers, all kinds of stuff. USB stuff, jumper wires, looks like DuPont wires. Nice modern Fluke multimeter, all kinds of stuff. The more modern section here. See, they got some Raspberry Pi stuff down here too. Cool. Who doesn't love playing with Raspberry Pi? So I'm done shopping, and I'm just about to take off, and well, I'm leaving the other end of the plaza, and there's their iconic spaceship Skycraft flying saucer that used to grace the top of their old building. So they brought it with them and have it mounted on top of the sign here at the plaza. I didn't see that coming in the other entrance, but it's really good to know they still have their flying saucer. Okay, when I get home, I'll spread the stuff out I bought and show you what I got. I need to get on the road and negotiate I-4 back home. I am not looking forward to this. Afternoon traffic's going to be terrible. All right, so now I'm safely home and I've laid out everything I bought. Poundage-wise, I got a lot, but actual quantity of stuff, there's not that much, but it's good stuff. And, you know, there is no substitute for going and wandering the aisles in a place like that. They have a really great online store, and I've been buying stuff from them through their online store, which is one reason why I don't go over there physically as often as I used to. But you know, the stuff they have in their warehouse that they have inventoried and on their website is pretty much completely different than the stuff they have out in the showroom, which, you know, that stuff doesn't generally show up on their website. So, you know, like the stuff I bought here, it really wasn't on their website. But conversely, you know, stuff in the showroom, a lot of the cool stuff on their website isn't in the showroom either. So, you know, you kind of got to go back and forth between the two. But, so what have I got here? Well, I got some 3/4 inch aluminum shafts, 2 feet long, and a 1/15 horsepower AC motor. So what am I going to do with these? Well, I'm going to build another rock tumbler. I am big into rock tumbling. I have a whole lapidary channel on YouTube devoted to rock tumbling, rock cutting, that sort of stuff. check that out. I'll put a link in the upper right if you're interested. But you can never have enough rock tumbling capacity. So I'm going to build another rock tumbler using this stuff. Let's see, I got some heat shrink tubing. I used up most of my heat shrink tubing on a big project not too long ago, so I needed some more. So I've got a nice assortment pack over here of heat shrink tubing. I got a plastic bottle with dropper tops, and I bought a couple extra dropper tops to go with it, but I was glad to see that they were selling them separately because some of the chemicals I use just destroy the dropper tops fairly quickly. So got some spares. A little electric water pump, 12-volt electric water pump, submersible. I can use that. Again, on my rock channel, I was cutting some rocks with my big Ryobi tile saw. It's a wet tile saw. It pumps water onto the blade to cool it and clear the swarf out. And that pump is giving me trouble. It's kind of intermittent. So I'm like, well, hey, perfect timing. I found a nice little 12-volt submersible water pump. I'll power that with a little wall wart 12-volt supply, and my Ryobi tile saw will be complete again. I got some long forceps. I had need of these the other day on another project and didn't have any this long, and well, now I do. I saw them, grabbed them. Again, that's another great thing about wandering the aisles there. You'll see stuff and you'll think, oh yeah, I need that. You know, I don't know whether these are on their website or not, but you know, I saw them and said, oh yeah, I need those. Let me buy them. Just a couple bucks. Some scalpels in plastic sheaths. I got a couple of them. I mean, they're only $1 a piece. These will come in handy for lots of things. And of course, they can be retracted so I don't wind up cutting myself accidentally. A new solder sucker. That'll come in handy. My old one's getting kind of ratty. This is a digital panel meter for voltage. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this with me the next time I go out to my Arizona place, because it's all off-grid and solar. And I'm going to mount this in the box with the batteries and the charge controller and the inverter and all, and I'll be able to see at a glance what the voltage on the batteries is, because I'm always wondering, you know, am I running the batteries down too much? You know, what's the battery voltage? If I've been using it pretty heavy and it's been cloudy or whatever, you know, you don't want to run that down too much. So, and I'll be able to take that out there and mount that in the battery box, and we'll see. Again, it's just sort of an impulse buy item. I saw it there in the showroom and said, oh, I can use that. Let me buy that. So, like I said, no substitute for walking the aisles. And I got a bunch of IC chips here. These are chips that are going to be very useful for my retro computing projects. I got some 8212s, which are bidirectional latches. A lot of older computers back in the day used these for I/O ports and other stuff. And they're becoming unobtainium. It's very hard to get, you know, 8212s anymore. And I got some, let's see, what did I get here? I got some Z80 DMA chips. You know, I have a couple of different Z80 computers I have built here on this channel on breadboards and stuff. And, well, DMA is one thing I haven't got into yet, hardware DMA. So, you know, I've got a couple of chips I could experiment with. Let's see, I got some Intel chips here, some 8156s and some 8155s. These are chips that interface with microprocessors like the 8085 and the 8088 with multiplexed address data buses. So they provide lots of I/O ports, timer counters, and a little bit of RAM. So they'll come in handy for some of that. I got some CMOS versions of the 6502 microprocessor and some 6551 UARTs that'll work with the 6502 microprocessor, or pretty much any other microprocessor for that matter. So, you know, I got all these chips at just a few bucks a piece. You know, some of them are only $1 a piece. So a whole bunch of great chips that I can use for my retro computing. And plus, I got a snack to eat on the road on the way back. They had some snacks up at the register. So altogether, I spent $126.65, which I don't think was too bad for all this stuff. Some of which is, like I said, darn near unobtainium. I think I got a really good deal on the shafting, the motor, and the pump. Those are going to come in really handy. So yeah, I think I did pretty good. So I will put a link in the video description to Skycraft's website where you can buy stuff. But like I said, there's really no substitute if you're in the area for just going and walking the aisles in the showroom, because there's just so much in there that's not like inventoried on their, online shop. So yeah, highly recommended. I've lived in Central Florida most of my life, and ever since I was a little kid, I've been going to Skycraft, so to support my electronics hobbies. So I love the place. Don't get there as often as I'd like to anymore because I live, clear across the state. But yeah, if you are in the area, highly recommend it. Go check them out. I don't think you'll be disappointed, and I think you'll probably come away with a lot of really great stuff. Okay, well, thanks a lot for watching this video. I hope you found it interesting, educational, informative, inspirational, whatever. If so, give it a like, give it a thumbs up, and go to Skycraft when you get a chance. And I'll see you in the next video. Thanks a lot for watching this one. Bye.